All right. Let me know if you can hear me. Like I said, I'm just setting this up at the house, so I want to make sure I'm setting it up right. If you can hear me, let me know. Oh, yeah. Get this out of the way here. So I got this microphone here, guys, and before I start this painting, um, I just want to let you know the reason I'm not doing this on the other channels because I really want to start doing my paintings live, and I feel it wouldn't be too good of an idea to do it on the church YouTube because um, they're going to be long, sessions. Sometimes they're going to be an hour session, sometimes 2 hours. And I really don't want to fill up the church, the House of Rest YouTube channel with that stuff. Even though it has a bigger subscription, I just figure if people are really interested or whatever, then they'll just come to this channel and subscribe. I've been wanting to paint on this one. I was trying to get 1,000 subscribers. I'm close. That way I don't have to set this whole thing up because the only way I can go live under 1,000 subscribers is through my laptop. So I have to set up the laptop, set up the microphone, and so, but it's okay for now. But like I said, I just want to, I appreciate the people that collect my paintings, and I thought this would be a great gift for whoever's going to own this piece someday. Or not even just this, but the collector's editions. Because I always do limited edition of the paintings, and I was just thinking, like, I would have liked to have seen a painting I bought actually being created and made. I thought that'd be a cool thing to have. So I just thought, that I think it'd be a good idea. And so every time I do a piece, it's gonna have the price of it on the top of the screen. And if it sells while I'm still painting it, I'll take that bar off and I'll put sold, and then I'll put that the limited edition prints are available. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, guys. And I have a second camera set up to show you in case I'm mixing colors because I'm hoping to get even people that want to learn how to paint. Now, I do want to say this, guys, is that, and most of you that are watching, obviously you already know about my paintings or else you wouldn't have known about this channel. But for future reference, if somebody is watching me, I'm going to show you how I paint, how I mix colors, how I do things. For those of you that want to know art, or maybe somebody comes on here that has no idea about my channel, has no idea, but later on in the future, they're searching up, painting or painters or the hobby of painting and whatnot. So I do want to say that I am not a professional painter in a sense where I did not go to school. I did not go to school. I learned to paint on my own. I entertained the idea of going to art classes or whatnot. And to be honest with you, I decided not to because, the way I paint now, and maybe somebody that went to school would say, oh, you're doing that wrong. You're doing that wrong. I would rather have me do it the way I learned, with my own understanding of how it should be painted, because then it doesn't look like anybody else's work. A lot of times, even, sometimes when we go to school, we become cookie cutter and we're just like copies of somebody else, and so I decided not to. I'm not saying I never will in the future, but as of now, I don't feel the need to go to any art class or art school. Sometimes I'm challenged with something, and then maybe I'll look it up on YouTube, how other people do it. And usually, like, say a specific tree or specific rock, I'll look up 10 different artists to see how they do it. And then I kind of do my own thing out of that, But anyways, this piece right here is called Los Trabajadores, which means the workers in Spanish. The This is to me part two of the farmer series that I did. The first one is the tomato tractor, or I call it the máquina, and that one was in a gallery here in Stockton. That the original sold for $2,000. Somebody came from Sacramento specifically to come purchase that piece. I have limited edition prints of that one, but that original's gone. And so this is going to be part two, guys. This is part two. It's I don't know if you can tell because maybe the screen looks white right here, but I sketched it with pencil. This is how I always start my pieces. I sketch it with pencil first, and I have my second camera. Let me show you my second camera I have here. Let's see. So this is like I said, I had to set this up all brand new. The laptop was set up for the services, and I had to just create a whole new. It's called a scene collection on OBS. But anyways, guys, I know some of you are gonna be popping in, popping out. That's okay. That's all right. Like I said, I know this is the first one. I'm hoping that this channel grows once people learn that I'm doing these live paintings, over time, and that's cool. If you have any questions, I do have a right here. Let's see. I want to make sure I can see it. Yeah, I can see the text. If anybody has a question or whatnot as I'm doing it, and all right, let's start. So I think the first thing I want to do here is the sky. And I haven't really decided if I'm doing all this stuff, guys, as I'm going, because I haven't decided what kind of sky I want. Do I want it a colorful morning sky, or do I want a blue sky? Sharon, where's she at? I don't know what color sky I want. Do I want like the morning colors, or do I want a blue sky? No, the sky. Morning dew. Dew's not a color. What's a dew?
As the sun's coming up.
Blue.
You don't want it bright.
No, I don't know if I want. You know how the colors you see.
Yellow tones. That's the way the tractor was. The same tone.
I don't remember. I don't remember what it was.
Can you use my phone to look?
I wouldn't know how to find. I don't want to be searching things while I'm live.
I'll look it up. I'll get it for you.
Dawn or dusk or dawn? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hey, when I step away from the mic like this, can you guys still hear me good? Because I want to make sure. If not, I could turn the mic up louder. Because most likely the whole time the mic's going to be that far from me. Let me know. Like I said, this is my first session, first time doing it like this, so I just want to make sure my setup is right. Okay, you can. Thank you. So Sharon is saying like the morning, like when the sun is rising, because guys, I grew up in a farming family, and I remember my mom, my older brothers, they would all go work in the fields, and it would be before the sun even came up. Turn it up. Okay, hold on. can turn the mic up. I'm about to turn the mic up. Just give me a second, guys. Let's see. Okay. That should help it. That should help a little bit. Awesome. All right. So, so for sure I know the sun's gonna be coming up. So I'm gonna put some yellow there. Sharon went to look at my other painting. She liked the way that came out. Let me change cameras here so you see what I'm doing. Hmm? That's bluish.
Not a lot though, not right.
Yeah, it's really light. Okay. But I do want to do, I decided, because I remember my parents would go before the sun came up.
Yeah. So it's not. This is where you started.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to put a little yellow. You're not going to see the sun. I don't want nobody to see the sun, but it's going to be yellowish, like as if they're facing that area where the sun would be. The thing is, when you paint, guys, you can't be scared. You can't be scared to lay paint down. You just got to do it. I mean, I hope I proved that. Like I said, I don't even know what I was doing. What as far as color, I don't know. I just realized I do want some kind of yellow there in the back. Oh, the audio went out when I switched? Oh, I know why. Thank you for letting me know that. There. So now you should be able to hear me. And I always have these water just I can clean my brush because that's pretty much the only time I use yellow for now. What I was saying earlier when the mic went off is I'm using cadmium yellow. All right. Sorry, guys. You should be able to hear me now. Let me know if you can hear me with the camera, with the downward camera. Now we're back. So I laid some yellow down. All right. Now I'm going to get a nice light blue, not a dark blue, a light blue, which is going to mean, you know, my favorite color for blue, personally, is it's called Prussian blue hue. I don't know if that's going to focus or not. No? Maybe it'll focus on the other camera. Yeah. I love this color for sky, but I add white to it because it's too rich. right. How you guys doing? All right, so I'm just adding a little bit of white because that blue is way too rich. All right, Robert. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get that blue sky now. Sharon reminded me of how the sky looked when I did the other one, you know, and I liked it. You know, this whole is that Boo Boo the real Boo Boo, or is that somebody that just likes the Boo Boo name? Robert, so you're listening? You're at work, brother? Guys, I really want to do this farmer series. First of all, when I did the first one was the tomato tractor. It meant a lot to me because, like I said, my dad's a farmer. You know, I grew up in a ranch, and a lot of people maybe see farm workers like, oh, they're just a bunch of farm workers, but I see honor in it. You know, these people work hard. Oscar, thank you, brother. You know, and I just feel like, you know, they work very honorably and they deserve, you know, to be shown in that light. All right. You know, I've been wanting to do this painting for a while. I stopped painting for a minute because I was working a lot on books and ministry, doing the you know, the Lake Tahoe. We wrapped up Sister Lydia's book. All we're doing is waiting on Amazon to approve it. You know, and I've been wanting to get on this painting for a while. As you guys know, I sell my art. There's a couple galleries that carry it. But I was talking to Sharon and I told her almost every one of my original pieces has sold. So most people that are buying the art are they're limited edition G clay prints. So there's, you know, once they're gone forever. So I've been selling those, but it was time. It was time to get some new artwork done. You know, and I'm gonna share some with you too, man, is that I remember, you guys know when I was away, that's when I learned to paint. And then I joined a contest as soon as I got home, and I got very discouraged because it was like, I think it was $25 to enter your artwork. This was back in 2010. And I was all excited, you know, because as you know, in solitary, I learned how to paint with pencil, and then later on, I learned how to paint And then finally, when I got home, so I saw this contest, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna join this thing and try to win." It was a cash prize money, cash prize, right? And obviously, I just got home, so I needed it. And I think they were only gonna select 50 paintings, and I guess like 200 people submitted, and mine didn't even get chosen to even compete. And I got very discouraged, and I didn't pick up a brush for a year after that. That painting that didn't even get entered is actually in my living room. Not the big one that you see behind me in devotionals, not that big one, but it's on a side. Sharon loves it. I had it hidden away because I was embarrassed of it. And when we first got married, as you guys know, I was living in a little RV next to my parents and my dad's ranch. I had that painting because the water didn't work in the RV, so the bathroom was like a closet, and that painting was just stuffed in there. Remember that? And so when she was helping me, we got married. I was gonna move in where she was staying at. It was before this house, and I just started taking stuff out of that closet slash bathroom, and that painting. It was a huge painting. It was actually bigger than this, a little the next size up. And she's like, "What is this?" And I was like, just I believed that it wasn't any good because it didn't get chosen, and I didn't pick up a brush for a year, But anyways, what's weird is after I did pick up a brush, after I did, and this is the strange part. Hopefully, I explain it correctly. But my paintings got better, which doesn't make sense because how could my paintings get better if I stopped painting for a year? That makes no sense. But it did. It happened. And then, so I started doing a lot of painting. I was doing a lot of commissioned work for people. Commissioned work is like people wanted, oh, I want a portrait of my, my grandma, my grandpa, my son, or I started doing a lot of stuff like that. And then I forgot how much time passed. I got busy again, I think, with just ministry, and I stopped painting again. And then, oh, I know why. Because I was working Uber. Guys, so the church was struggling. I had to work Uber and Lyft for almost 3 years. And I had to go to San Francisco every single night. Every single night. I would leave like at 12 noon, and I would come home at 12 midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, and I would try to be a full-time pastor without full-time pay, but being full-time accessible at the same time working Uber. So there was no time for painting. I did that for 3 years. And then finally Lyft. I don't know if you've seen the video I did where Lyft, I had a booth. I was a recruiter for Lyft. I had my own booth. And I actually did some lives from my booth. You can see me in a pink booth because, the Lyft colors. And I did that for a year. And then one day they said that, that's when Lyft went public. So I was no longer driving for Uber, no longer driving for Lyft. I was a Lyft recruiter, had my own booth, had everything, signing people up. I had sign up bonuses every time I signed somebody up. Life was good. And all of a sudden, Lyft went public and they cut that program out. So all of a sudden, I did not have employment. I tried going back to driving. And no, before that, babe, before. So this is what happened, right? Is I decided to go back to driving, but by then, because each time, each year, it gets worse and worse and worse the pay you get for those things, And so I started getting a painting to do, and then I would go do Uber, try to pastor, and do the painting. And then I did that painting, and then somebody commissioned me for another painting. And I remember one day telling Sharon, I said, Sharon, I'm going to make X amount of money on this painting when it's done. But I keep working my butt off driving Uber, coming home sleepy, waking up the next day. So I barely have any time to paint anything. I said, I feel like financially it'd be better if I stay home today and finish this painting.
I knew it.
You know?
I knew who would.
Oh, my son just got home. And so I ended up staying home and I finished that painting. And I told Sharon, I'll just do this. I'll just go drive tomorrow. And guess what happened the next day? I got commissioned for another painting. And then I got commissioned for another painting. And I just kept going and going and going for months. I mean, it just didn't stop. And how long was that? All the way. Oh, and then that's when COVID hit. So guys, I'm over here painting and painting, and I promise. See, here's the thing, right? Is that every man needs to provide for his household, no matter what. But I had so many commissioned work, I was like 6 months backed up on paintings. So there's constant work, and then COVID hit, and nobody could do Uber because who was gonna get in a stranger's car? That was crazy. And I just kept painting. But then I stopped because ministry and publishing and books, and I just stopped painting. And I have not started until today. This is it. Right now, this moment. And here I am. Okay. I need to make sure this little piece here gets done. So, hey Nick, how you doing, man? Appreciate you guys. Like I said, I know this is probably boring for many people, and I understand if you want to jump in and jump out. But I just want to start documenting the work that I do. Is that too? It's hard to see, huh? Uribe, how you doing, man? I'm doing great. Just cleaning my brush for the next color. I'm gonna start doing all of my artwork live. You guys don't have to watch it, but I'll tell you what, whoever buys this painting will appreciate it because they'll be able to see their piece that's in their house in their living room actually be created from the beginning. All right. So I'm waiting for that yellow to dry. That way I can blend. Actually, I'm gonna try to blend a little bit now. That's better. Yeah, Happy New Year's, Nick. How's the family? How's everything going? I have not painted, I believe, in a year. All my pieces at galleries are all G clays or prints, limited edition prints, but I have not had any original art in over a year. Irma Martin, thank you. All right. So I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a guy I sketched here standing looking that way. There's another guy here bent down because it's a tomato field and he's pulling weeds. Um, Usually in tomato fields, like I said, I grew up around this. You have to get workers to pull the weeds, or else the weeds will choke the plants. So that's when you see people hunched over on a tomato field, it's because they're pulling those weeds. So there's another person here pulling the weed, and then this is actually again a portrait of my dad. I wanted to use him as one of the workers. This is an actual picture that I sketched of him showing tomatoes to my granddaughter, because we have a tomato field in back of the house during the season, and he took her out there to pick tomatoes, and he was kneeling down on one knee. So I wanted to incorporate, because the way he was posing kind of fit what these workers are doing. So I wanted to include my dad in there. So, what do I want to do now? See this, real quick, guys, I like blocking it. I block it first and then I put details later. I think I want some hills.
Some what?
Hills, Altamont Hills.
Some hills.
Guys, out in Tracy, where I grew up, in the distance, there's these Altamont Hills that go to the Bay Area. They're not mountains; they're just like these round, rolling hills, and that's what I'm used to. So, let's put some hills. All right. Oh, I almost drank my water for brushes.
Nice.
Instead of my coffee. You can kind of see the shapes, can't you guys? Yeah? Okay, let's do some hills. I'm going to do a little bit of...
Are you on both Facebook and
No.
YouTube?
Yeah. If you are not subscribed to this channel and if this interests you, make sure you subscribe, guys, because I'm going to randomly go live doing this painting. Because, I pastor a church and we're always doing things, so I can't designate a certain time. But if you want to see this painting be created in the different sessions, the best way to do it is to subscribe. That way you always get that notification. Cali Boys 831, good afternoon. So you always got to block things first before you put details in. So in case you're wondering, what is he doing? So I'm just blocking things in. I'm just trying to get these hills shaped. Need a little bit more white. Then I sit back, see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can get a close up here. All right. Yeah, I don't think I can do a close up. Nick, remember Nick? Was it Chicago, right? Right? Chicago?
I think he's in the East.
Well, that's like Midwest, or I don't know what's Chicago.
He's down that way somewhere.
No, that's not. What do they call Chicago area? Nick, he says,
The guitar player.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Windy City. He says, do you have any recommendations for someone who wants to start painting as a new hobby? Well, I'll tell you what, I would start with acrylic paint. Acrylic paint is the most forgiving. I'm painting with acrylic paint because
Because you can always go over it.
yeah, oil painting can take days or even weeks to dry. That's why a lot of people that do oil, like Bob Ross, he did oil. But it's you know, with acrylic you got to learn to paint faster because it dries faster. But nevertheless, it's more forgiving. You know, you could always use this stuff to keep your, it's called palette wetting spray. It keeps your paints wet for a little longer than normal. But just paint, man. I think the best way to do it is just go get a canvas and brushes and paint and just get used to the brushes. Don't even try to paint nothing. Just get used to the brushes. Before painting anything, I would get used to the brush. What does each brush do? You know, and
Yeah, I would get yourself a good little set though. They have good little sets for like $10.
yeah, just a beginner set.
Not the little cheapy ones.
You know, and different size brushes and just get used to what each brush does, because eventually you're going to find your favorites to do this or to do that. Right now I'm using this really big brush. There's no way to hit details with this. It's impossible, but I'm doing that on purpose because if I use a smaller brush, my inclination is to always want to do details. And that was my mistake I used to do, guys, is on the beginning of a painting, I would use this little small brush. And I'm like, now using this big brush forces me to just block.
Yeah.
It forces me to block and like, I don't know about you guys, but like when I use this example, before I started preaching, I would watch preachers and say, oh, I want to preach like him. I want to preach like him. I want to preach like him. So then when I would preach, I'll try to preach like them, and I would fail because I couldn't preach like somebody else. And eventually I realized that the Lord said, I don't want you to preach like that person. I already have that person. I want you to preach the way you preach. And then and only then was I able to be fully free to preach like David preaches. And I say that to say, when I started painting, I used to go to galleries and I would be in awe of this artist or that artist, and several artists that I like. And then I would come home and try to paint like them, and I would fail. And then I felt like a failure, and like, for instance, this one painter, I can't remember his name right now, but it's he's in a gallery in Lake Tahoe. He paints like wine glasses and wine, and like in a vineyard with grapes. And when you approach that painting, you think it's just a giant photograph. Sometimes you can go to Walmart and take a picture and have them put it on the canvas. I honestly thought, like, why is this guy selling his art at this high-end gallery for? Oh, it's just a picture of some grapes and wine glasses. And then I got closer and realized it was a painting. He painted in a way that the wine glass, the grapes looked real. Remember that, Sharon?
Yeah, I do. I remember.
And at first, guys, I got discouraged. I used to I don't know. I think going to galleries used to torture me. I don't know why I would walk in, because I would just wait. I would leave discouraged. Until I realized something. Actually, I learned something. Actually, from another artist. He's a teacher. He's on PBS. And he says something that stuck with me. And ever since then, I am no longer afraid to go into galleries. He said this. He goes, there's people that they are trying to paint something realistic, and that takes a great skill. And I take nothing away from those artists, because that is an amazing skill to have, to paint something to look like a photo. He goes, but for me, and I felt he was speaking for me, because he goes, but for me, if I want to paint something to look real, why don't I just take a photograph of it? Where's the art in that? He goes, the art is getting a brush and painting what your vision is without having to worry about everything being perfect. He goes, paint it the way you see it in your heart, and you can never fail, because who is there to tell you you failed? Because they can't see what you see in your heart. And ever since then, I'm not intimidated by people that paint realistic paintings. I respect what they do, but I feel sorry for them. You know why? Because a coloring book is fun, but you have to stay in the lines. But to do art with a thick brush, I don't have to stay in the lines. There's a little sketch here, but that's just a sketch. And I think this carries on into your whole life, is don't ever try to preach like somebody else. Preach like you. Don't teach like somebody else teaches. Don't, like for instance, when Sharon makes plates, if you've seen pictures of her dinners or desserts, she'll see something and be like, I'm going to make this my way. She's like, I'm not going to copy somebody else. I want this to be my dish. And I haven't asked her this, but I think she enjoys that more than following somebody else's pattern already. Would that be true?
Yep. Yes, sirree.
So what am I saying? I'm saying you be you. You be you, man. What's up, Pastor? You mean? Are you talking about the Mocha Locas I drink? No, this is actually, I made this here at the house. This is regular coffee.
No more Mocha Locas, Hardy.
But I did drink a Mocha Loca a couple of days ago. I used to drink them every day. But they are good, man. Smooth. I'm not sure how to say your name. Soph or Soph? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. Now, yeah, I was talking to you guys, but at the same time, I was letting this dry a little bit. So I'm gonna start blocking some more. I'm really debating now. I feel like I wanna paint this guy standing right here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So his hat, I'm gonna paint.
Do you need the thing higher?
What? No, that's fine. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna paint his hat the color of my cowboy hat.
You need to bring it?
Yeah, I don't want it close to me, but
Just lay it on top of the thing. All the way at the top.
oh yeah. So this guy's wearing a cowboy hat. I'm gonna make it the color of my hat. Okay. That way. Yeah, I do portraits. I used to do a lot of portraits actually. Let's see. Guys, make sure you follow my Instagram. I have an art one. It's right there. Oh, it doesn't say it on there. Look, here's huh? I have a thing with it. All right. That's my Instagram, guys, right there. And make sure you follow me if you want to see my other types of artwork that I do. I'm going to switch it back to my camera right now, but get that name right there. And you can follow the Instagram. All right. Where's my white? Oh, I have white right there. Because I'm gonna now work on him, I'm gonna get a little bit of a smaller brush instead of this one. Same type of brush for this one, so I don't want him to be that blocked up. Okay. Nice. Bless you.
Thank you.
Brother Chewy, I should ride my bike with that hat, huh? Actually, I don't like this brush. It's too stiff. It wasn't bending in the way I needed it to. Actually, Brother Chewy owns a limited edition print of part one of this, of the Machina.
The original was purchased by
Yeah.
a gentleman.
Yeah, I let him know. He came all the way from Sac or somewhere over there to purchase that original. I'm liking it. I'm liking it, guys. I think since paint a cup of coffee, I've thought of that. I like coffee paintings actually. I think we've seen somehow like with coffee beans and a mug and the steam coming up. So Chosen, are you a coffee lover? All right. Let's get back to a bigger brush. I'm gonna do his shirt. You know, almost I think every field worker I knew all my life would buy those long sleeve shirts that were like different stripes. And for some reason, they're always different stripes, but they always got them at Goodwill or Salvation Army, because you would think that to be out in the field, you would want a short sleeve shirt to be cool. But actually, from all the workers, you know, and growing up, and my dad and my grandpa, even my brothers, um, they would prefer those really thin, almost like a dress shirt, button down, but long sleeve, because it wasn't the sun hitting directly on you, and the shirt would sweat, and because the shirt was sweaty, it would keep you cool out in the field. So they always had these kind of like, you could tell it was a dress up shirt at some point, but now it's a field worker shirt. So it's always like different stripe colors. So I'm thinking browns and grays. Empty tomb. Hey Adam, how you doing, brother? No, I understand if you're just popping in. This is very tedious to watch, but I just want to document these paintings from now on, because whoever ends up purchasing this original piece or even the collector's edition, I think they're going to enjoy having the video of their art piece actually being made. Oh, there he is, Caravilla. Yeah, that's the brother that bought the original piece to the Machina. Brother, this is part two, because that painting you bought inspired me to do a whole farmer series. This one I'm calling Los Trabajadores, and it's going to be 4 men working the field in a tomato field. Huh?
Including your dad.
Yeah, and he has the original. So the tractor driver on that one was my dad, and again I put my dad in there again, you know, because my dad worked the fields all his life. Still does sometimes. The boss calls him.
Yeah.
The boss still calls my dad. My dad's 80, 82. He was born in 42. So you do the math. I don't know. So somebody do the math. He was born in 1942. He's in his 80s. And they can't find young men to work the fields the way my 80-year-old dad does. So they'll call my dad out of retirement and say, hey, we got 5 days of work for you. Can you know how when you make the line straight on the tractor? That's my dad.
Yeah, he's 82.
Yeah. All right. And by the way, Carl, man, I appreciate you, man, supporting the art. Every field worker I knew would go to a secondhand store to buy old dress-up shirts to work in the fields. They all had them. Believe it or not, guys, when you can ask my wife, man, I love the smell of a fresh tomato field. It's very reminiscing for me of my grandpa, of my parents, of my life, just going out there, playing out in the fields, eating tomatoes fresh. I'd rub the pesticides off on my shirt, so by the time I got home, I had all kinds of green powder. I didn't even know that was pesticides. I just thought it was green dust. Chosen, when I paint the coffee picture, you'll purchase it. Email me so I can know who to contact. Chosen.
The coffee picture.
He wants a coffee painting.
Coffee?
He's a coffee lover.
Of just coffee?
Yeah, I've
beans?
seen
The
nice
coffee
one.
beans?
I've seen nice ones where there's like beans and then a mug. You know what I mean, with the smoke coming up. Are you talking about something like that?
Or like a straight, like canela coffee, like straight beans from the field, or what?
Hogside, how you doing, brother? Email me at davidrochaart@gmail.com. Are you on? Can you put that?
Yes.
davidrochaart@gmail.com.
Just in Starbucks.
Nah, Starbucks tastes burnt. Like I said, man, I'm just blocking off. You can kind of see.
Oh, I remember those shirts.
Hmm?
I remember those shirts.
Field workers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's blocked in. It's gonna look a lot better than that.
Yeah,
But
sure do.
I gotta let that dry. But now I'm gonna do his jeans. I'm gonna paint his jeans now. And,
Sure do, shorty. I feel like that's too low for you. You need to bring that up.
what, the painting?
Yeah, you need to lift the whole thing. You're bending down too much. Even like that, you're still bending down.
Oh, this feels better actually. So I sort of sketched how I want the jeans, so there's wrinkles in it. Cadillac coffee?
You should bring it up there.
I can't right now. It's too much.
Your thoughts going so far.
Looks wonderful.
I messed with that.
That's okay. It's looking good. Just keep going.
This looks like your eyebrow. And this looks like his eye.
Hey, Chosen, you still on there? What kind of coffee do you like? Also, Chosen, another thing you can do, bro, is look on Google, get an idea. Here's the thing: I don't paint stuff off Google, but my wife will recreate it, and then that way I have something to base it by. But that way, you and I have the same idea of what it is you want. Like maybe email me like 3 pictures of something you like, and then we'll recreate it.
I can take pictures of stuff.
Yeah, she'll actually put coffee beans or cup, just kind of matching it, but it'll be her photo, and that way it's what you have in mind, yet original. Yeah, today we don't have rain, but it's just a short break because tomorrow it's coming. And not only that, but windy, and with all the ground so wet, a lot of trees, man, are gonna be falling over probably. How's it, man? That looks that's looking good. Sorry, I get happy, man. I haven't painted anything in over a year, so this is very fulfilling right now. Thank you, brother Chewy. Robert, beautiful artwork, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you guys, man, for just being here, hanging out with me. This is kind of an exciting moment for me, man, because I have not touched a brush in over a year. I've been just doing ministry, publishing books, starting a church in Tahoe. We did a lot of traveling last year, huh, babe?
Yeah.
And I have not had a chance. nor did the Lord release me. A matter of fact, the reason I stopped painting was because the Lord said stop, and and I did. I just obey. You know, I didn't want to stop, but when the Lord says something, you just got to trust. You know, and it was weird because I've been talking about painting for the last 3 months when I started the David Rocha channel, and and I knew I could go live on my laptop, you know, but I kept saying, hey, I need 1,000 subscribers so I can go live on my phone. But in all honesty, I knew it was getting close. And then right after New Year's, it was weird because the next day I woke up New Year's Day and that we had service. But sometime throughout that day, the Lord said, all right, I'm releasing you to paint again. And I'm just trusting, guys. I'm just trusting. So I'm painting. You know, when you're in the fields, your jeans get dirty. So we got to make these jeans a little dirty here. Thank you, Adam. I'm just blocking things in. So, but yeah, I'm liking the landscape too so far. So I have this camera switched to the palette. Now I can do this, babe. I think. No. See, I don't know how to lift it.
Oh.
It's not helping. I don't know how to do it. All right, guys. My back started hurting, so I'm trying to lift up the. I'm trying to lift up my What's this called? Easel. My easel. So give me a second here. The,
Nice.
Sharon was asking me to lift it while I was painting. And I was like, I have no idea how to do it. I don't be doing it on camera. But I just realized I can switch to the downward camera.
Yeah, move that out of the way.
No, I appreciate you guys, though.
I bought it for you. I should know how to do it.
Yeah, it was hurting my back. All right, Adam said he's closing up at work. You figured out how to lift it?
Yes, it's from here. This thing right here. This bottom one has to stay in place.
Trying to get this higher because my back.
Pull out this little lever.
Yes.
It's this one right here. It needs to go
right, we got it. She got it.
And how high does this need to go?
I don't know. I have to put this on. You have to get out of there. All right. Now I'm standing straight, guys. I'm not the hunchback of Notre Dame.
It's not centered. It's not centered. The painting's not centered at all. There you go.
All right. Let's see. Hogside. Have you seen how many strawberries are ready on 99 before Manteca and Rip inside? It's all red now. Seasoned fast. No, I haven't seen that actually. All right, guys. So I'm not even sure how much longer I'm going to be painting, but what do you guys think so far? I might actually take a break now and leave the rest for session 2. I don't like painting too much for long periods of time, because then I start to mess up, I guess, and I get impatient. It's where the water tower side where the palm trees are. Oh, okay. No, I like the way it's looking so far.
You took it off of the painting, though. The painting's not all in the picture.
Yeah, well, because I'm talking to him right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop. Because I've been going for an hour and a half already. So, guys, or maybe I'll just talk to you guys for a bit, but these farmer pictures, man, it really mean a lot to me. My third farmer picture is actually going to be women in the field.
Yeah, we took a beautiful picture of that.
There was a lot of women in the fields back then. My mom being one, a lot of my aunts. Women worked hard, man. They worked just as hard as the men out there. They'd go out there in the morning before the sun was up, and they wouldn't leave until the sun went down. And before Cesar Chavez came, they would give them these short, like the hose, HOE, the tool, and
That's not it. Is that what they call it?
the sadon.
Salon?
And they would give them the short ones because the farmers didn't want to pay for the long ones. And that meant that these people had to be hunched over from morning to evening. And they wouldn't give them breaks. The way, here legally every, 2 hours you had to have a break.
Yeah.
And that's at a job where you're sitting at a desk. But these people were hunched over, pulling weeds with their backs bent over in the sweltering sun. And it wasn't until Cesar Chavez came and basically the people gathered together and forced the farmers to get the long stick ones so they can have their back straight like this, man. A lot of history, man. A lot of literally blood, sweat, and tears in those fields. So, think about that when you go and buy tomatoes or strawberries, peaches. Somebody's got to pick that. And, my dad, it took me a long time to realize, I used to think, oh, I got to make money this way. I got to make money that way. But I would make money in wrong ways. And what good was it? My dad used to tell me when I was young, and I never understood till I was a grown man. He says, I might not have much, but what I do have, nobody can take from me because I worked hard for this. And my dad would tell me that's what a man is. That's what a real man is. A real man doesn't go and scheme and try to figure out how to make $1 off somebody else's, disadvantage. You see, you got to be a man and you work for what you got. So when I see workers, a lot of times when we drive out to Salinas, you don't see as many field workers out here as much as it used to, because a lot of the tractors have taken over what the people used to do. When you go to Salinas in that area, you still see a lot of because there's a lot of lettuce, a lot of different other types of vegetables in here, and you see the fields full of workers, and all they're trying to do is make a living, And so to me, it's a beautiful thing to see, because I know the honor that's behind it, and that's why, I love painting Christian paintings. I love that. But I also love doing this. I really, truly enjoy, painting these farm workers, because I'm hoping that by doing this art like this, that it lets people see how beautiful it really, truly is, and I want to bring honor to the workers. And I guess in that sense, I bring honor to everything my dad has done. And my grandpa that passed away, I used to see my grandpa work in the fields. And he would work hard, and he worked almost to the end of his life. So when I think of fields, I think of like everybody gone from the house, and literally sometimes they would be in the fields around the house, and I would see them working, and my mom also, and my grandma would watch us. And as I see the fields, I could smell fresh tortillas, because that's what she would be doing. Because she knew that they were going to come home hungry. And as the sun was starting to go down, she knew they were going to come home almost. And she would have this stack of fresh tortillas. So it's a weird mixture for me to see fields and the tomatoes and fresh tortillas, like it all intertwines in my memory. So by painting this, for me, it's a lot of things. It's healing to me. It's refreshing to me. It's giving honor to the workers, and it's giving honor to those in my family that work those fields.
I think it also shows that the humbleness.
Yeah, the beautiful humbleness.
The faith and the humbleness that out of humble and honest people,
yeah,
came to pastors.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think that you can't be humble and honest people and simple, in order to have such great faith.
Yeah. No, I agree. The other day, there's 4 blocks from here, we would see this little family. It was a little humble. It looks, is it an apartment or is it
It's like a little single.
Like a single?
Yeah.
And last summer, we would always see the family always outside in the yard. And usually that's an indication that they probably can't afford to have their air condition running, if they have air condition, and the kids are outside under the shade, the mother's outside.
Little young family.
Little kids. And then when we started doing the grocery giveaway, we decided, we're like, man, we always see that family. And this is what did it. Because we weren't sure, if we didn't know them or anything. We're like, man, what if they take it wrong and we bring groceries? And this is what did it. One day we were leaving here super early. It was early, like the sun was barely coming up. And we saw the husband getting into an old truck. And he had like landscaping stuff in the back of his truck. Old truck. And following him to his truck was his wife and his looked like a daughter carrying his lunch and his thermos. And that did something to us. It did something to me, you know what I mean? And it was just a beautiful sight to see a man not go and do illegal stuff, not go and selling dope, not doing none of that. For this man to go and earn an honest wage, and his family not asleep or playing video games or sleeping till noon. His family was up to make him a hot breakfast and a lunch and coffee. And that was the most beautiful thing. And after that, we decided to stop, and we gave them a bunch of groceries. And every time we do a grocery giveaway, we always stop and give to them. There's 2 little families that we found out that live next to each other. And then when we have the Toys for Tots, as you guys know, we were blessed with a lot of toys. That's why a lot of them are going to Mexico. A lot of them got sent to Tahoe. A lot of them, when we did the grocery giveaway, kids at our church. And we ended up stopping there and giving all those kids just a whole thing of gifts for those children. They were so happy, huh? Wasn't one of them saying, para mí? Yeah. Meaning for me, these little kids, you know. So, guys, that's...
Now they know when we're coming every single time.
Yeah, so we pull up every month. They know that they're going to get groceries, you know, and we don't even know their names. We don't even have their numbers. They don't know our names. It doesn't even matter because we do it for Jesus, you know, and if they ever ask our names, that's fine. But, you know, they don't even know what church we are. They know we're pastors, I think.
Yeah.
They have no idea what church it is, you know. But guys, if you're on here late, this is a painting I'm going to be doing. This is session 1. I think I'm going to end it, but this is session 1. And hopefully you guys, I'm not going to touch this painting unless it's live. Matter of fact, all of my paintings from now on, because I want this to be documented for whoever's going to purchase this painting later. That way they can have this and see it from beginning to end. And if I would buy a painting, that would be a gift to me. And not only that, but there's going to be prints of this, limited edition prints of this. I'm not sure how many. I might just make 10. I might just make 25. But the limited edition, they're signed. They're G-Clay prints, so they're professional prints, and they're framed. And I'm going to be having those. I haven't decided how many. I'll decide how many I'm going to make by the time this painting's done. But it will be a limited amount. And, man, God bless whoever purchases this original piece right here. This is called Los Trabajadores, which means the workers. And, you know, thank you guys for watching.
Is a week, 1 more hour, LOL.
Paul, how you doing, brother? How you doing? Let's see. Leonard Perez out in Phoenix. Good afternoon.
Oh, I loved meeting your mom, Leonard.
Amen. What a blessing.
Yes, they were a blessing. Thank you so much.
Mondo H, I just lost my job after 10 years, and this painting is inspirational to keep pushing. That's right, Mondo. I just pray blessings for you, for new opportunities to open in the name of Jesus, for you to find a better job, better than the last one, and that God provide for you and your loved ones.
By the way, Leonard Perez, his mom's church, they also donated some gifts, and those gifts are going along with to Juarez with Eli. So we had extra gifts to be able to give over to Eli as well, and we gave them out to the grocery giveaway too. When we had the grocery giveaway, we gave out gifts to children at the grocery giveaway. So we were really, really blessed. Thank you so much, Leonard. Please tell your mom thank you. Yeah.
And Chosen, you said, David, would it be considered idolatry if I had a coffee painting? No, brother, no.
I'm not going to sit there and worship.
Matter of fact, you know what? That you just gave me the subject for the devotional for tomorrow, because that word idolatry or idols is not translated perfectly well into English. And so a lot of times people think like, oh, if I have a statue of a little figure of G.I. Joe or something, that's an idol or whatnot. No, we got to go deeper into the Hebrew and get a deeper understanding of that. But like I said, that's for that other channel on the House of Rest channel. I'll do a devotion on that because I was actually wondering, what do we talk about? You know, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's
we'll talk about idols. So hopefully you're subscribed to that one, and I'll answer that question in detail with scripture,
And
because
if
that's
you're not
important.
subscribed to this one, subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you're subscribed here. Alex Olivas, yeah, man, this is the beginning. I just picked up a brush. I'm gonna start painting original pieces. Out of all my original pieces, I only have 2 original paintings left in galleries. All the rest are limited edition prints. And the Lord has released me to start painting again. I'm like, thank you, God, because I've been wanting to paint. So this is part 2 of the Farmer series. The first one was the Machina. I still have prints of that, guys. Actually, it's this one. I think I have it on this. Yeah, that one. That's my Instagram, David Rocha Art. That one, the original, has sold already to a brother up in Citrus Heights. But I do have prints left of this. This is limited edition prints, guys. This is part 1 of the Farmero series, the Farmer series. And so this is going to be part 2. And I'm going to do a series of these. I'm not sure how many. I'm just going to do as many as I'm inspired to do. You know, and but this one, like I said, this one's gonna go to whoever wants to purchase it. It's gonna be $2,000 for this original, but the limited edition G Clay prints of this will be available for $300. And depending how many limited editions, I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet, but whoever's going to get this original, man, you're going to be blessed by it. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be amazing. I could just, even by me just blocking, I'm just kind of blocking things right now without details. I can tell it's going to be very inspiring. So thank you, Alex. Hogside, have a wonderful day, bro. And thank all of you guys, you know, and please make sure you subscribe, because I don't have a dedicated time when I'm going to do part 2 of this. So there'd be no way to know unless you're subscribed already, and then you can get the notification for it. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. God bless you. And yeah, I'm going to read one more comment on here. Juan Quintero. They have our people out in farm fields picking veggies and fruit in harsh, extreme conditions, just like they did our African brothers back in the day. That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. It is harsh. And next time, you know, you got to think of that. You know, I grew up in the ranch. So anytime I go in the vegetable section or fruit section, I automatically think of the people that pick this automatically, because there's honor in the work that they do. And we have to honor that, because it is hard work. You know, and if anybody ever says,
Dad is still out there doing
yeah, my dad still works out there if he has to. My thing is this, is don't ever say that those people on the fields are taking jobs from somebody else, because ain't nobody else willing to do it.
That's right.
You know, that's just the raw truth, man. So, all right, guys, God bless you. Thank you so much. And hopefully you jump on the next session, session 2. And we're going to continue on this painting. Not sure how many sessions it's going to take, but we'll just keep going and keep doing it. If you are interested in purchasing this before it's even done, because I have a feeling somebody's going to purchase it before it's done, don't wait till it's done. Let me know right away. You can email me at davidrochaart@gmail.com. And if this is something you seriously want, you got to let me know now, because this thing's probably going to go quick, because I'm only going to paint this live, and it's just going to keep getting views and watched, and somebody's going to want the original. So, and if you want one of the limited edition prints, let me know also right away at davidrochaart@gmail.com. All right, guys. See you later.